A very good evening to all my dear students. Very warm welcome for today's class. Adil, Navneet, Linga, Harsh, all of you. Nagraja, everyone, welcome for today's session. So we have already started companies incorporated outside India. Pooja B, Partha Sarthi, Sakti, Shamli, Prerna, welcome to the class, children. Khushbu Kumari, good evening. So we have already started companies incorporated outside India. We have done a detailed definition in the previous lecture of Section 2, Clause 42, where we have understood how a foreign company is named and what are the conditions to be fulfilled in order to call it a foreign company. All right, Ms. Tiwari, Thyasumi, good evening, children. All of you, welcome for today's class. So I hope you have very well revised what we have done in the previous lecture. And today we'll be proceeding ahead in the same chapter, that is companies incorporated outside India. Along with this, children, I want to tell you that we'll be doing n number of case studies as well as MCQs in the class as well. Also, certain assignments along with the questions have been given to you on the portal. So after we have completed the chapter, please try to go through all the assignment questions also. Try solving them by yourself. Okay. Sayyid Hussain, you can put your camera off. Nobody is supposed to put their cameras on. Okay. So what we have done in the previous lecture is what is the definition of Section 2, Clause 42, how a foreign company is defined. So can anyone tell me in detail if there is any difference between a foreign company and a body corporate? Kya body corporate and foreign company same hai or are they different? You can use the everyone's chat box. It's clearly visible. It's working. So tell me if it's the same or it's different. Yes, children, different. So what is the difference? Can I say all the foreign companies are body corporates? Yes, ma'am, because body corporates is a wider concept. So any company, whether it is incorporated inside India or it is incorporated outside India, both the cases it is known as body corporate. But then what is a foreign company? Foreign company is any company or body corporate which is incorporated outside India, plus it has a place of business in India. That's it. This is the correct definition. Any company and body corporate which is incorporated outside India and has a place of business in India is known as a foreign company. Is this correct, children? Either physically or electronically? Yes, both. Anything else is required or it's a complete definition? Tell me. Incorporated outside India? Yes, Navneet Maurya. And doing business activity in India. If I've just opened up a place of business, I'm not doing any business activity, then I'm not a foreign company. If I'm doing the business activity through electronic modes, through online services, telemarketing, or through B2B transactions, B2C transactions, any digital supply, any cloud computing, whatever I'm doing, कुछ ना कुछ मेरी presence के साथ activity भी चल रही है, then only I can be concluded to be called as a foreign company. But if I'm just having a place of business and I'm not doing any business activity, then I cannot be called as a foreign company. Is this clear, everyone? So if I'm having a share transfer office and I'm not doing any business activity, then am I a foreign company? If I'm just having a share transfer office or a share registration office, then can I be called a foreign company? Yes, ma'am, because place of business includes share transfer office. Because place of business includes, मतलब share transfer office ही है, तब भी मान लिया जाएगा कि आपका place of business है and आप activity करते हैं. या फिर share registration office. Earlier we used to have these physical offices in which we used to go and get the shares registered. Now everything is done online. Okay, what else comes under the electronic modes? B2B, B2C transactions, data interchange, and digital supply. If I'm accepting the deposits, today we'll understand how the prospectus provisions becomes applicable to the foreign company. Okay. Any financial settlements, if I'm doing any web-based marketing, What is the meaning of web-based marketing? Means I am not physically present in India, but I am doing certain activities where I am having your presence through Google or maybe artificial intelligence. I'm trying to sell out the things. I'm marketing for my products. I'm doing any promotion. So if examiner asks you that if there is a company which is incorporated in USA and it is not having any place of business in India, but it is marketing its products and doing promotions like Myntra, Meesho, and different kinds of Amazon. It is selling its product. Will you call it a foreign company? Yes, ma'am, because you're digitally through e-mode, you're having a presence in India. What will you call the Netflix Hotstar? Can we call them a foreign company? You don't see any office of Netflix, but electronically they are sending the digital supply transactions we are doing. They are supplying the data to us and then it is known as a foreign company. Can we call Tesla a foreign company? Can we call Tesla a foreign company? How come yes? Everybody said yes. Do you have a presence of yes, Tiwari is correct. Sakti VR is correct. Having in Mumbai, are you sure? We have units in India, you said. Anil. Just check it once, okay? Because Tesla, any company which is incorporated outside India, unless and until you don't have presence in India, you cannot be known as a foreign company. I don't think Tesla has yet started. Yes, very good, Linga. I don't think they have yet started any business in India. But if they start any business in India and they have a place of business, then it will become a foreign. Till the time it is not having any. Microsoft, is it a foreign company? So it is incorporated outside India. It is doing business in India. Then it is having a presence in India. Then it is a foreign company. Okay, let's assume a company like Tesla, which has not yet started, it comes to India for the very first time and it opens up its office in Chennai. Then with which ROC they need to register themselves? With Maharashtra ROC, Chennai ROC, Haryana ROC or Delhi? Everybody knows the answer, ma'am. Delhi. We all remember that. Section 380, huh? That's great. FC1, Adil Khan, very good. Very nice. All right, all right. पर पहले first section 2 clause 42 की revision पूरी करते हैं, फिर section 380 में जाएंगे. So any data interchange, emailing, cloud computing, तो ध्यान से पढ़ना है क्वेश्चन को. टेलीमेडिसिन कर रहे हैं, एजुकेशन ऑनलाइन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो फिर भी हमारा वो क्या कंक्लूड होगा दैट इट इज अ फॉरेन कंपनी. बट इफ आई हैव ओपनड अप एन ऑफिस इन IFSC सेंटर, then will you call? I'm incorporated outside India and I've opened up the office in IFSC center, which is under special economic zone. Then it is no, because exempted होता है. इसको हम foreign company नहीं मानेंगे. ये बाहर की ही company मानी जाएगी. That means you're outside India only. You're not doing anything because they're providing international financial services. ना बाहर वालों को ही finance related services provide कर रहे, तो उन्हीं का ही center. तो सिर्फ हमने जगह दी है उनको काम करने के लिए. So it is not a foreign company. Then what did we learn in section 379? Two things. Number one, section 392, 93, 380, 386 are applicable to foreign companies. Can we say these sections are applicable to body corporates also? So ma'am, all foreign companies are body corporate. So ठीक है, ये foreign companies को specifically applicable है, not to all the body corporates. But in between sections which are not lying over here, that is 387, 388, 389 that we'll be talking today, that is applicable to all the body corporates. So any company which is outside India trying to raise money from my country, India, accepting deposits, then they have to issue a prospectus. It is mandatory for every body corporate, whether you have a place of business in India or not. ठीक है. सेक्शन 387 जब करेंगे देन आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू दिस थिंग इन डिटेल. एज ऑफ नाउ 379 कहता है, 380 to 386 एंड 390 to 93 फॉरेन कंपनीज को लगेंगे. सेकंड रिक्वायरमेंट क्या थी? हाउ मच परसेंटेज शुड बी हेल्ड बाय एन इंडियन सिटीजन? Okay, Ravi Ahuja, you will get the link. Technical team will send you the link. 50 or more, not less than 50% means 50 or more than 50%. Equity or preference or both? Partly equity, partly preference, even just equity. If I say I'm holding 51% of the shares of preference share capital, चलेगा? Yes, ma'am. Preference भी हो सकता है, equity भी हो सकता है, दोनों भी हो सकता है. If I'm saying I'm holding 53% of debentures, 379 आएगा? No. Equity है, आएगा. Preference है, आएगा. Partly equity, preference है, आएगा. ठीक है? All right. हेल्ड बाय whom? फॉरेन सिटीजन ने होल्ड करा है, आएगा? नो मैम, इंडियन सिटीजन. फॉरेन कंपनीज ने होल्ड करा है, आएगा? नो मैम, इंडियन कंपनीज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड अगर है और इंडियन सिटीजन एंड इंडियन कंपनीज मिलकर होल्ड कर रही हैं मोर देन 50% ऑफ द शेयर कैपिटल इन द कंपनी विच इज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड आउटसाइड इंडिया, then such foreign company will also comply with provisions of Chapter 22 and other provisions as may be prescribed with regard to the business that is being carried on in India as if it was a company incorporated in India. So what example did we take last time? So I am a company in USA, more than 51%, so 53% share is being held by Indian company. Then for this Indian company, Chapter 22 and other provisions will also become applicable. Foreign company को तो foreign company की provisions लगे नहीं, but जो Indian company है उसे हम इस कंपनी को जो आपने इंडिया में बनाई है उसे हमने इंडियन कंपनी मान लेना है and all the provisions of this chapter will become applicable to them. Is that clear? Then what did we do in section 380? Section 380, you all have very nicely remembered that once you come to India, you have to get yourself registered with New Delhi Registrar. 7 documents that are required to be submitted. A certified copy of MOA and AOA, full address has to be given, list of directors and secretary, full address of principal place of business in India. आपने इंडिया में कहाँ पे ऑफिस खोला? That also has to be given. Any opening and closing of places done. So that is very important. ROC is very keen to know where have you opened the office and what was the replacement of ROC? What was the amendment that we have done in the previous class? Are we submitting it with the ROC registrar? What is it known as? Who will give me the correct answer for the amendment? What was that? Registration center? Central Registration Center. Very good, Adin. So registrar, Central Registration Center. Okay. So declaration also has to be given that what is the declaration that you have to give? Okay, all right. Everybody has given the correct answer. Let's move ahead. And then there was an important person who is known as the authorized representative. Who is that person? Any person whom I have appointed in India who is going to receive notices on behalf of my company. So it's very difficult for ROC to post and send the documents to Russia, USA, China, wherever the company is incorporated. So बोलते हैं अगर आप foreign company तो आपका दफ्तर है ना इंडिया में, place of business है, तो वहां पे एक authorized representative किसी का नाम और address दे देना. If that document is sent to that person, it will be assumed that it has been served on the foreign company. And what kind of declaration has to be given? I give you 3 choices. Number 1, that the directors are not debarred from forming the companies. Number 2, the directors have not been convicted in forming the company. Option 3 is option A or B. Option 4 is both A or B. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं वहां पे एग्जाम में. ठीक है ना, फटाफट से आपने 4th ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट कर लिया बिकॉज आपके सामने लिखा हुआ है दैट ही शुड नॉट हैव बीन कन्विक्टेड और डिबार्ड फ्रॉम फॉर्मिंग द कंपनीज. सो रीड ईच लाइन वेरी केयरफुली. Whatever you're learning, whatever notes you're making, now keep highlighting these kind of things because this is the important things which the examiner can ask you. And the moment you see that in the MCQ, this is the topic which I have learned, to quickly 2-3 सेकेंड्स लगाकर उस टॉपिक को मन में रिवाइज कर लेना है कि उस पेज पे क्या लिखा था, डिबार्ड कन्विक्टेड था. नहीं याद आए तो थोड़ी सी कॉमन सेंस लगा लेनी है कि दोनों चीजें ही प्रोहिबिटेड होगा ना, सिर्फ कन्विक्टेड थोड़ी ना, डिबार्ड भी नहीं होना चाहिए. जिसने लर्न करा होता है ना चिल्ड्रन, उसको याद आ जाता है 100%. सो लर्न करना पड़ेगा. लॉ हैज टू बी लर्नड. इट्स ऑल अबाउट द मेमोरी गेम. Have to store so much of the information. So keep learning, keep revising. Whatever chapters you're doing with every teachers, just keep making your notes, keep revising everything so that everything is on your tip. Sayyid Hussain is asking, debarred means मतलब उन्हें रोक दिया गया, उन्हें मना करा गया. Convicted तो जेल हो गया, debarred means stop लगा दे. Okay? All right. Clear? And if any foreign company ceases to have his office in India, तो आप opening and closing of place of business in India दे रहे हो, But अगर आपका कोई place बंद हो गया है, what do you need to give? You need to give the notice to the registrar, and from that date, you will not be asked to deliver any kind of documents. That means your requirements and fulfilled have not been now required to be fulfilled. FC2 में you have to give the detail of all the offices that have been opened and closed. And what about the alteration? If you're making any alteration, what kind of alteration you have made? For example, earlier A, B, and C were the directors of the company. Now M, N, and P are the directors. So you have changed the directors of the company. Please inform ROC within 30 days of such change. Whatever alteration, whatever changes you're making, you need to inform the ROC also. So FC1 is about all these detailed documents that you have to give. And today we will see all the forms also. So then what was another requirement? Application has to be supported along with the copy of RBI under FEMA, that we have complied with the FEMA regulations also. All right. Now let's start with section 381. I hope no doubts, and we have done a quick revision also, recap also. What is section 381? Section 381 talks about that accounts of the foreign company. Every foreign company will make a balance sheet and profit and loss account. So simple. ये तो हम बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. Accounts of companies पे भी आपने पढ़ा है. आज the chapter that we're going to complete today, you'll have a quick revision of all the previous chapters. Section 2, clause 42, 379, 380. यही थे major sections. अब जो भी हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, it will have additional material related to foreign companies, but more of it will be a test that I'm going to take of yours, because I will be asking you the previous chapter questions as well as the sections, because purana wala hi sab applicable hai foreign company ko. Okay, so when it comes, I'll tell you. First of all, balance sheet and P&L account, that is very simple, ma'am. We will make that and deliver a copy of these documents to the ROC. So every foreign company, every calendar year, whatever calendar year, 1st January to 31st December they're following, they will make this balance sheet and P&L. Central government can direct the foreign companies. The requirements of above shall not be applicable if such modification and exemptions have been given. So central government can exempt them also. Remember consolidated financial statements also, when we were making, we can take a permission from CG, what dates they have to make, or even they can be exempted for making these kind of statements. Second important point, if they are not in the English language, a certified copy has to be taken of translation that be of done in the English language. Certified translation means आप क्या करोगे? Suppose आपके हैं documents US में तो and UK में English चलता है, तो हम ले लेते हैं France. So you have incorporated a company in France. So they are making the financial statements in French. Now somebody might know French and German, somebody might not know. So you will translate it into English language, and when you submit this translated copy, it has to be a certified copy. Who will certify it? Further in the chapter, we will do a topic under section 386, interpretation. There we will understand the meaning of this word certified, and इस पे भी question आया. Okay? So बहुत थोड़ी चीजें हैं foreign companies में जो हमें समझनी है and learn करनी. And congratulations, 379, 380 and 242 अभी तक हो चुका है learn. So hardly 5 to 6 more things and terms which you have to retain and remember. Okay? So after this translation has been done, a certified copy of the English language has to be attached. And all these documents shall be sent to the registrar along with a list of businesses on the date of balance sheet in form FC3. Whatever businesses you have established, wherever you're having the offices, list of all the offices and places that you have established in India, you have to give in FC3. Clear ho gaya? So FC3 is the form which is required for all the list of businesses. After that, foreign company will also make the financial statements of Indian operations according to Schedule 3 or whatever is possible for each financial year. So you have learned that Schedule 3 has to be followed. So Indian companies के लिए you will prepare as per Schedule 3 जो आपने accounts of companies में पढ़ा है. And the documents that are required to be attached, what are the documents that are required to be attached? Number one, the copies of the latest CFS. What is CFS? Consolidated financial statements of foreign company that you have to prepare. Along with that, a statement of related party transaction, repatriation of profits, and transfer of funds, including dividends, if any. समझने वाली चीज आ गई। यहाँ तक तो सबको समझ आया ना? शेड्यूल 3 देना है आपने इंडियन ऑपरेशंस के लिए, अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज, द डॉक्यूमेंट्स दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड टू बी एनेक्स्ड एज पर चैप्टर 9 अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज। तो कह रहे बेटा कुछ नहीं है, सेक्शन 381 में आए हो ना, तो आप चैप्टर 9 पढ़कर आए हो ना अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज, मिटाटिस मिटांडिस अप्लाई कर देना इस चैप्टर को। जो आपने इंडियन कंपनीज के अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज पढ़ा है, दैट सेम शैल गेट अप्लाइड। ओके, consolidated, yes, consolidated need model. Again, you have to make that CFS statements when you're converting also, and you're making it for foreign company as well as Indian company. So, एक तो CFS आप दोगे. What is related party transaction? Related party definition, you remember preliminary chapter where director is having certain percentage share or somebody is related to you, relative की definition में आते हो. So, ऐसा कोई भी आपका relationship है related parties के साथ, you have to give a statement. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने रिलेटेड पार्टी को परचेजेस करी हैं, सेल्स करी हैं, तो उन ट्रांजेक्शन्स का आपने एक स्टेटमेंट बनाकर दे देना है. आरपी ट्रांजेक्शंस, आरपीटी बोलते हैं. स्टेटमेंट ऑफ आरपीटी मींस रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजेक्शंस. Repatriation of profits means repatriation is always of the profits. Remittance is something else. So there is another word that you remit outside India. When we do FEMA, I will explain you the meaning of word remittance. Remittance means पैसा बाहर भेजा. Repatriation is always of the profits. Whatever you have earned in India and now you're taking outside India. तो you're a company incorporated outside India, जापान में बने हो, यहाँ पुणे में ऑफिस खोला, तो जो भी प्रॉफिट कमाया जापान में लेकर जा सकते हो ना. So repatriating your profits outside India, a statement of whatever profits you have earned in India and you're taking outside India. Then what is transfer of funds? Transfer of funds means you're having shareholders outside India and you're paying dividends to them. So you're transferring the funds. That is not repatriation. So there's a difference between repatriation of the profits and transferring of funds. Repatriation of profits means you can write down whatever profits you have earned in the country, you're taking that outside India. Whatever profits you have earned in India, you're taking it outside to the parent company. That is repatriation of profits. Whereas transfer of funds means the dividend that you're paying to the shareholders abroad. The dividends that you're paying to the shareholders abroad means you're transferring the funds to them. Yes, Syed Hussain, you have to get yourself registered under FEMA. So when we do FEMA, there we will understand what are the rules and regulations of FEMA. So अभी के लिए आपको क्या बताता है foreign company में, that you have to get the approval from RBI under the FEMA regulations. What are those approvals? When we do FEMA, then we understand. Okay, Syed? Yes, of course, you have to maintain the same currency and country because then only the CFS can be prepared easily. Yes, absolutely, Anil. You're taking the profits outside India, which are earned in India, and transfer is paying dividend to the shareholders. Very good. Bala Murugan, absolutely correct. Good. Clear? So 3 statements, statement RPT, repatriation of profits and transfer of funds. आपको explanation नहीं आएगा, आपको 3 statement याद होनी चाहिए कि CFS के साथ आपने, along with the financial statements, you have to file these documents with the registrar. Again, I have a question related to this also in today's class. Now, all these documents have to be submitted to the ROC when? Now comes your time period. तो आप अपने notes में लिखते जाना. First heading में हमने देखा Chapter 9 provisions are applicable. Second heading में हमने देखा what all to be filed. That is financial statements, P&L, balance sheet, CFS, and RPT, repatriation and transfer of funds. Third heading में आपने लिखना है what is the time for filing these statements? 6 months from the period of ending of financial year to which these documents relate. So if I tell you that there is ABC incorporated in USA, it is following the year end 31st December 25. Then by what time you should submit the documents with the registrar? 6 months of the period when the financial year ends. Tell me, 60 days? 31st June, correct. All right. And if due to any reason you are not able to submit the documents, then what time period can be provided extension by the registrar? You have to make an application in writing, and registrar will extend this period maximum by 3 months. So July, August, September. So by 30th September, then it can be extended till 30th September. If your period is ending on 31st March 2025, then by when you should have submitted these financial statements? April, May, June, July, August, September by 30th September. And then your extension can be given maximum for 31st December 2025. All right. So a question can come where you have to, yes, including extended period, right? Question can come where they can give you the different dates. So 6 months and 3 months has to be remembered. Also, such kind of questions comes in the MCQs. ये तो हो गया मैम थर्ड तक अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज की बात. फोर्थ पॉइंट आ जाता है रिलेटेड टू audit of the books of accounts. Have you done chapter 10 audit of books? Have you learned about chapter 10? So that's great because chapter 10 audit and auditors mutatis mutandis apply to the foreign company. कहता कुछ नहीं करना, वापस जाओ चैप्टर 10 पढ़ो. इंटरनल ऑडिटर, कॉस्ट ऑडिटर, स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर कैसे अपॉइंट हुआ, कैसे आया, रिप्लेसमेंट हुआ, रोटेशन हुआ, सब कुछ फॉरेन कंपनी को वैसा का वैसा एप्लीकेबल है. तो कुछ नया नहीं लर्न करना है, बट हाँ वो एप्लीकेबल है. सो आपको क्वेश्चन कैसे देगा? दो एक्ट्स को, दो चैप्टर्स को मर्ज करेगा. Company incorporated in Japan. It has opened up its place of business in India and it is doing business activity. Do you think they need to appoint an auditor? Appointment of auditors में चले जाना, पहले बता देना that it is a foreign company. Chapter 10 audit and auditors is mutatis mutandis applicable to the foreign company. So whatever you have studied over there, just write it down over there. Clear? Everybody? Interesting? So copy paste your chapter 9, copy paste your chapter 10. Then fifth point that you have to remember, every foreign company, and again practicing chartered accountant audit karega. So all you future chartered accountants or LLP that you have formed of practicing chartered accountants, you are going to audit these foreign companies also. Every foreign company has to be audited by a chartered accountant only. BCom पढ़ा हुआ नहीं कर सकता, audit के लिए CA चाहिए. Fifth point is every company will prepare an annual return in FC4. चलो जी, सारे forms खत्म. FC4 is the last form of this chapter. FC4 में आपने annual return बनानी है और उसका time period क्या है? 60 days from the last day of financial year. If I can recall, हमारे Indian companies का भी 60 days है. जल्दी बताओ मुझे. Indian companies के केस में annual return का क्या time period है? Deadline क्या है? See, everybody is opening chapter number 9 and finding out what is the time period. Yes, Prerna? So same annual return in FC4 has to be filed within 60 days. Tiwari ji, बहुत time लग गया. Because you were checking out in the book and others are still scrolling down the pages. See, this is how you have learned the content. Yes, it is 60 days, children. So every foreign company shall prepare annual return in FC4 form within a period of 60 days from the date of its financial year and whatever particulars they stand on the close of financial year. ओके सो क्या लर्न करने वाला है? 6 months एक्सटेंशन 3 months 60 days में एनुअल रिटर्न FC4 में जाएगा. चैप्टर 9 अप्लाई होगा, चैप्टर 10 अप्लाई होगा एंड 3 स्टेटमेंट्स दी अलग से. जल्दी से लिख दो. व्हाट आर द 3 स्टेटमेंट्स दैट हैव टू बी फाइल्ड विद आरओसी इन केस ऑफ फॉरेन कंपनी? स्टेटमेंट ऑफ आरपीटी, related party transactions, repatriation of profits, transfer of funds, including dividends if any. Clear, everybody? Good, Shamli, Nagaraja, very good. FC4, yes, FC4 is another point, right? That's correct. 60 days from AGM. Thank God, Sayyid, it took you time to find out from the books, huh? So this shows me how well you have been revising. So do revise your previous chapters, children. 381 is done. Now let's move to section 382. All right, Anil, Prerna, Shamli, Navneet, everybody has given the correct answer. Tiyasyomi, Parthasarthi, Prerna, everybody good. Kuldeep, Navneet, Maurya, everyone. हाँ नागराजा, you're laughing now, हाँ, sending smileys because see this is how you remember. पहले सबने किताब खोली, ढूंढा कि 60 डेज है, फटाफट से 60 डेज लिख लिया. अब किसी ने आगे भी लाइन पढ़ी कि 60 डेज ऑफ एजीएम में था. आगे भी पढ़ लेना बेटा. इफ एजीएम इज नॉट हेल्ड देन इट इज assumed the day on which AGM should have been held. ठीक है, so revise it. Need to revise. Okay. Now accounts of foreign companies, section 381. This is what we have done. Now display of name, etc. of foreign companies, section 382. What is given under section 382? Display of name का मतलब क्या होता है? Where you stay, you have the name engraved outside your house, that this is Maheshwari's house, or yeah, simply board name. और शाहरुख खान के घर के बाहर क्या लिखा हुआ है? मन्नत या जन्नत, क्या है वो? मन्नत. हाँ, और इट्स जन्नत, मन्नत. ओके. एंड अंबानी के घर के बाहर क्या लिखा हुआ है? वहां भी कुछ लिखा हुआ है. सो ये क्या है? डिस्प्ले ऑफ नेम. अंबानी ही लिखा हुआ है मेरे ख्याल से. सो ये नाम डिस्प्ले हो रहा है. सो फॉरेन कंपनी का भी नाम डिस्प्ले करना पड़ेगा. कहाँ पे डिस्प्ले करेंगे? हाउ वी हैव टू डिस्प्ले द नेम ऑफ फॉरेन कंपनीज, व्हाट नेम बोर्ड्स आर टू बी यूज्ड, दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव टू learn over here. Okay. So you have to exhibit the outside of every place where it carries on the business in India in letters easily legible in English letters. So it says if you are in US and you have made a company in Pune. So outside this Pune office, please write on the name board the name of the foreign company in English letters, and legible means easily readable, तो पढ़ा जा सके. ठीक है ना? लेजिबल होना चाहिए मींस क्लियर होना चाहिए, क्लियर शब्दों में आपने इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में लिखना. अब सेक्शन 382 से क्वेश्चन क्या आएगा? यू आर कंपनी विच इज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इन रशिया एंड यू हैव अ रशियन नेम. कैन आई डिस्प्ले ऑन द बोर्ड नेम द नेम इन रशियन लैंग्वेज? यस और नो? नो मैम. It should be English language and legible characters, and one of the language in general which is used in the locality in which the office is situated. कहते हैं रशिया में मत लिख देना, हमें इंग्लिश में लिख कर देना ताकि हमें समझ आए. एंड पुणे में क्या बोलते हो? मराठी. बॉम्बे में मराठी चलती है, महाराष्ट्र में. So any other language which is the local language which is spoken over there. So if it's in Punjab, it will be Punjabi. If it is in Maharashtra, it will be Marathi. If it is in Gujarat, it will be Gujarati. Okay, yes, same as vernacular language. Absolutely correct. So English language and the local language, the name outside the place where the office is situated. So name of foreign company and the country. क्या क्या name करना है? Foreign company का नाम and the country in which it is incorporated. रशिया में है तो रशिया लिख देना, और नाम ऑफ द कंपनी. यूएस में है तो नाम नेम ऑफ द कंपनी एंड कंट्री इज यूएस. क्लियर हो गया फर्स्ट पॉइंट? Name of the company and the country in which it is incorporated shall also be stated in legible English characters on all the business letters, bill head, letterhead, and all the notices and other official publications. He's saying now you'll be communicating with people. There'll be third parties, banks with whom you're entering into contracts. So please, on all the business letters and bill heads and letterheads, you use this same name of the company and the country, and it should also be in the English characters. So यहाँ पे लोकल लैंग्वेज नहीं लिखा है, यहाँ पे कौन सी लैंग्वेज यूज करनी है? इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज. Cause notice of the fact stated in point when liability of the members of the company is limited. Please write down if it is a limited company, then you also need to state that the liabilities of the company is limited. Because notice has to be sent, no? That's why these names are required, so that we know that which is the place and what is the name of the company. जिसको अगर हमने कोई notice भेजना है या कोई बातचीत करनी है तो कैसे address करेंगे? So foreign company's name had to be displayed at two places. One, it is outside the office in India, along with the name of the country, and second is on all the bill heads, business letters, letter papers, and all the official documentation. And if the liability of the members of the company is limited, then please state that also, that our liabilities are, we have a limited liability. Clear हो गया? Section 382 done. Section 383 सर्विस ऑन फॉरेन कंपनी. फॉरेन कंपनी के ऊपर कोई नोटिस कैसे सर्व होगा? service of notice or documents on foreign company. So number one, any notice, process or document which you have to serve on foreign company should be sufficiently served if it is addressed to the name and address of the person given under section 380. And how do you serve it? You leave it at their postal address or address it. You leave it at their address or send it by post to their address which has been given to the registrar, or by electronic mode means email कर दो. कोई मुझे समझा सकता है ये क्या लिखा हुआ है अंडर सेक्शन 380, नेम ऑफ द पर्सन गिवन अंडर सेक्शन 380? Who is this person? Without going to section 380, you have to answer me. Very good, Shamli, Kuldeep, Nagar, and Bala Murugan. Indian person appointed by foreign company. So, Prerna, authorized representative is the correct word that we have learned. In India, representative Adil Khan, that's correct. He kaun hai? Holds share. Radhesham Tiwari, what are you trying to say? Who holds shares? Matlab? Was there any condition under section 380 for holding the shares also? Authorized representative is the correct word. Prerna, good. Okay? Theosomi, okay, not a problem. Tiwari, good. Make mistakes here. Don't make mistakes in the exam, okay? All right. So if the ROC wants to send any notice to the, say for example, there is a foreign company which is in Russia, and can you suggest any Russian name of foreign company? Quickly suggest me some Russian name. Suggest some Russian name of foreign company. ABC तो करते ही रहते हैं ना हम. Any kind of name of Russian company. Sukhoi. All right, Adil. Anything else? Leningrad LLP. Great. So let's assume the name is Sukhoi only. Now, the Sukhoi is the name which you have to write outside every office, and you will write the word Russia, the country's name. Now, if I want to serve any notice to this Russian company, that is Sukhoi, which is in Russia, does the ROC need to send the notice by emails or, sending by post and courier to that country? No. You simply give it to the person who is named as the authorized representative. So let's assume they have given the name of Mr. Ram, who was named under section 380. His name and address was given. The fourth point of section 380, those who are not remembering. So name and address of those persons have already been given to the registrar. So ROC will simply send the notice to Mr. Ram, and it will be said that, what will be said? It will be said that notice has been served to the Russian company. Okay. All right. And how will you serve this notice? You will either go and leave at it at their address or send by registered post, or you will email the notice to Mr. Ram. So it will be considered as if it has been served to Sukhoi, that is the Russian company. Clear, everybody? Section 383 is also done. Now, within 5 minutes, we are going to wind up with section 384 also. What is the name of section 384? Debentures, annual return, registration of charges, books of accounts and their inspection. कहीं आपने डिबेंचर्स का नाम सुना हुआ है? ये तो आपने मेरे साथ ही करा था. सेक्शन 71 इशू ऑफ डिबेंचर्स. सो डिबेंचर्स कैसे इशू होने हैं, ट्रस्टी कौन अपॉइंट होएगा, किस तरह से आएगा, म्यूटेटिस म्यूटेंडिस अप्लाई कर दो. And just imagine they try to tell you that only children 380, 386, 387, 392, बस यही थोड़े से सेक्शंस है फॉरेन कंपनी. बट यहाँ देखो, चैप्टर 9 पूरा चिपका दिया, चैप्टर 10 चिपका दिया, फिर डिबेंचर्स चिपका दी, एनुअल रिटर्न, सब सेम सेक्शंस रिपीट. यस, कॉपी पेस्ट. यस, एग्जैक्टली. So you remember debenture section 71, everybody? Annual return section 92, we just had a revision of annual return. सेक्शन 135 क्या कहता था? सेक्शन 135 क्या कहता? CSR, corporate social responsibility, must have done in detail. Subject to such exceptions and modifications. कहते हैं जो exceptions and modifications applicable हैं foreign company को वो मिलेंगी, but CSR and annual return has to be applied. So if you're a foreign company, please do some corporate social responsibility in India also. Then what was section 128 books of accounts? कहीं तो पढ़ा है ये, कहाँ पढ़ा है आपने? Chapter number 9 starts with section 128 books of accounts to the extent required to be kept at principal place of business in India. जल्दी से मुझे बता दो सेक्शन 128 क्या कहता है? What are the books of accounts? Hurry up, without cheating, without opening. This question you have done with me also in preliminary chapter. CFS, P&L, balance sheet, very good. Last two ones, important ones. Cash flow, equity statement. Anything else? In extras? Okay. Okay, Nagaraja, this is done, consolidated. Okay, Pooja, good. Notes to accounts, Harsh Mishra, nice. Amalgamation, now anything, Aditya, it's coming up. Okay, Prerna, good. Nagaraja, what is FC4? FC4 तो आप उसमें कर रहे हो ना, annual return for foreign company. I'm asking 128 के क्या क्या है books of account. All right, good. At least you remember this basic information. We have done this definition in preliminary chapter also. So see children, chapter number 1 is also very important. Most of the definitions that you have done in chapter number 1, they get repetitively in other chapters also. Good, Kuldeep Nagar, Theosiomi. Everybody has given the correct answer. So 128 books of accounts is applicable. Then what was chapter 6? Registration of charges. क्या पढ़ा हुआ है उसमें आपने? Will apply mutatis mutandis to charges on the properties which are created or acquired by foreign company. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of the word charge? Raise your hands and tell me. Who remembers fixed charge, floating charge? कुछ तो पढ़ा हुआ है आपने chapter number 6 में. Creating a right, okay. Security, which is you're giving and you're getting it, that security as registered. Loan taken on hypothecation security of assets. Very good, Kuldeep Nagar. Includes mortgage. That's nice. First charge, yes. Shamli Sharma includes mortgage also. So what is mortgage? Any security that you have given for of immovable property and taken a loan on that, and that is the secured amount. Security needs to be getting registered. It can be a fixed charge or a floating charge. Shamli, Navneet, Kohli, Anil Golti, simply a lien created on the property. Yes. Good. Pari Pasu charges and first charges. Sayyid Hussain remembers that. That's great. Very good, Adil. Fixed में charge holder can't sell the asset. Yes. And floating में it is for the stocks. है ना? आपका stock may come and go and then you have a floating charge on that. Very good. I'm happy. I was not happy on answering when you were answering annual return. Now at least I'm feeling happy. Good. So registration of charges, apply mutatis mutandis. What is chapter 14? I don't expect you to know that because chapter number 14 is not part of your syllabus. It deals with inspection, inquiry, and investigation. Will also be applicable to the Indian business of foreign company, applies to the company incorporated in India. So कहते chapter 6, chapter 9, 10 ये सारे तो applicable है ही है. Chapter 14 जो Companies Act में दिया गया ना, inspection and investigation से related, that will also become applicable. So you don't need to learn chapter 14, but yes, if section 384 is asked, then you need to remember all these sections that I've highlighted in red. I will just highlight once again, section 71, 92, 135, 128, chapter number 6 and chapter 14. बस ये 5 words याद करने हैं इस section 384 के लिए. Done. What is section 385 telling you now? Fees for the registration of documents. You need to pay ROC whatever fees as may be prescribed for registering your documents. So there shall be to the registrar for registering the documents. Any provisions of this chapter to be registered by him, such fees as may be prescribed. So the fees is not in form. 385 में वो कहता है fees दी होती है, जितनी भी prescribe करी होगी वो आपने जमा करानी है. You have to deposit that fees while submitting the documents to the registrar. And now comes the meaning of your word certified. So I told you under section 6, the meaning of the word interpretation. Have you done interpretation of statutes? I think you will be doing it. You haven't done, right? What is the meaning of interpretation? Can anyone tell me? Interpretation का मतलब क्या होता है? Interpret करना, how you try to understand law, in what language or in what ways you're trying to understand law. All right, interpretation means certified. So interpretation of these words, what is the meaning of these words? Certified means certified in the manner which is given as a true copy or a correct translation. So you have to certify the things. Very good. Explanation, translation, language interpretation, good. So you have to certify, like I told you, when you translate it into English language, you have to get a certified copy. Director, who is a director of a foreign company, it includes any person according to whose directions or instructions the board of directors is acting. And here is your important line, place of business includes share transfer and share registration office. तो मैंने आपको कहा था ना, हम ढूंढ रहे थे उस दिन कहाँ लिखा हुआ है, सेक्शन 386 में इंटरप्रिटेशन में लिखा हुआ है कि शेयर ट्रांसफर ऑफिस भी अगर इंडिया में है तो we will assume that you're a foreign company. That means you're having a place of business in India. And who is a director according to whose instructions the board of directors is acting is known as director. This word certified, I'll explain you. It is given ahead also. I think I have taken it up in the question. Let me just show it to you in the study material ones. Any doubts still here? Anyone wants to ask anything? I'm opening your study material. Anyone wants to ask anything meanwhile? We are doing chapter number 11. All right. FC1 is clear to everyone. All the information of 380. What was FC2 form used for? What was FC2 form used for? Any alterations that you are making, the companies has prescribed the return containing the alteration. Sorry. Any alterations have to be given in FT2 form. Okay, Harsh Mishra, I'll show you, bacha. I'll show you all the forms over here also. Alteration good. 382 once again. Okay, now, Garata, I will do that. I'll take it up from the study now. Okay, this illustration one, everybody's clear, no doubts. They have set up e-commerce platforms, does not have any branch or office in India, still it is doing electronic mode, then it is a foreign company. Bilkul sahi. 381 में any doubts? P&L balance sheet has to be prepared, deliver it. Chapter 9 accounts, financial year 31st day of March, and if you want you can get it changed also. ये सारी same चीजें वही लिखी हुई हैं जो आपने chapter number 1 में पढ़ा था. Tribunal's approval, all these things can be done. You can read example number 5. ROK Limited is a company which is incorporated outside India, having a place of business in India. It is a subsidiary of HOK, registered in Australia, and it is required to consolidate its account. If they follow the financial year other than 31st March, then they can make an application to the central government to follow the same financial year. I hope you all remember this. CFS में हमने financial year, किसी को नहीं याद आ रहा तो आपका चैप्टर नंबर 1 में फाइनेंशियल ईयर की डेफिनेशन में ये सारा पैराग्राफ हमने पढ़ा हुआ है कि सीजी के अप्रूवल से आप चेंज करा सकते. देन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज सर्टिफाइड कॉपी ये हम पढ़ चुके हैं. ऑल द प्लेसेस ऑफ बिजनेस. FC3, व्हाट डज FC3 प्रोवाइड्स? हरी आप इन द चैट बॉक्स. What does FC3 provides? ROC. List of place of business in India. Very good, Adil. No, Steffi, alteration is for FC2. FC3 provide all the businesses opened and closed in India. Not annual accounts, Sayyad. Wrong. Financial statements. Hey Bhagwan. Partha Sarthi, why did you say financial statements? Where it is written FC3 for financial statements? Children, we just did. FC3 is for all the offices and place of business that you have established in India. I told you forms are important for this chapter. Quickly write down all the forms. FC1, section 380, all the documents to be filed with the registrar. FC2, alterations. FC3, for all the places of business as on the balance sheet date. Okay? Data interpretation, Aditya, what are you writing? Okay, good, Navneet and Radhesham Tiwari, good. Adil, good. Steffi, I hope now you've understood. Yes, Swami, good. Okay. Then we have done these three statements have to be filed and all these documents within 6 months. So Mukesh and Jordan LLC is a foreign company and it has to file the financial statement within 6 months of the close of financial year. What are the three documents to be filed along with the financial statements? Related party, repatriation, transfer of funds. Example 6 में जो दिया गया ऐसा क्वेश्चन पेपर में आ सकता है. CG can exempt certain companies. Yes, if it is specified, it can exempt. Then comes your audit. They will get the audit of Indian operations from a chartered accountant. Chapter 10 पढ़ लेना, आपको याद आ जाएगा. Display of the names has to be done. Who was asking section 382? Section 382 में क्या नहीं समझ आया? Somebody had raised a query of section 382. Display of name of foreign company. Child, it is simply try to tell you that you have to put your name outside every place of business and it should be in English characters as well as the local language which is used in that area. And you can also use this name on the letterheads, billheads. The liability of the members is limited. Then cause notice of that fact means then you should inform it all the bills, notices and advertisement and outside every office, please write the word limited. अगर आप LLP हो या कंपनी लिमिटेड है बाय शेयर्स या बाय गारंटी तो वर्ड लिमिटेड लिख देना कि आपकी लायबिलिटी जो है वो लिमिटेड. ओके 382 is done. Then service of documents 384, everything we have done. Somebody was saying they are not able to find FC4. Harsh Mishra, page number 11.14. Every foreign company will prepare an annual return and file it in 60 days time period in the form FC4. Have you now found FC4? Everyone, clear? Fees for registration you have to pay as per the rules. Interpretation we have done. Okay, let's do illustration 2. Examine with reference to the provisions of Companies Act whether the following companies are a foreign company or not. A company incorporated outside India having a share registration office. So what will you write in the answer? Suppose this is a 2 marks question. What will you write? You will write section 2 clause 42 defines the foreign company that it is any company or body corporate outside India which has a place of business in India either electronically or through agent and it conducts business activity. For the section 386, ये आपको नहीं याद आएगा section 386. आपने लिखना है as per the provisions of the Companies Act, place of business includes share transfer and registration office. Therefore, if it is incorporated outside India and has a place of business in India and it is owned by electronic form and it conducts a business activity, hence we conclude that since it is having the registered office in India, it will be treated as foreign. इस तरह से we expect you to write the answers. We expect you to write the answers in this way in the exam. Okay? And what is the second part? Indian citizens have incorporated a company in Singapore for the purpose of carrying the business there. ये तो मुझे hand raise करके कोई समझा दे इसका meaning. FC3 list of place of business in India. Yes, Partha Sarthi, I hope you are clear on this point now. Yes, Saipa, you have to write if it is a 2 mark question, not that extensive, but it is 2 marks and 2 marks, actually 4 marks. Na? It is for both the parts that they have written. Okay. And now I'm asking you a question that you have incorporated a company in Singapore and you're doing business in Singapore only. Then is it a foreign company? Raise your hands and answer me. No, yes, no, I want. No, तो मुझे पता है. क्या लिखोगे पेपर में? ऐसे ही थोड़ा सा मुझे बताओ. You can raise your hands. Quickly raise your hands. Who is going to explain? Harsh Mishra, Adil, Partha Sarthi, Navneet, Linga. Who is going to raise their hands? Yes, Saib. Adil Khan. Okay. Yes, Adil.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, beta.
So, company incorporated in Singapore, it is irrelevant a citizen in India or not, because it's not a foreign company according to Section 242, not carrying any business activities, not having a business
Place
place
in
of
India.
business in India. So,
Okay.
it is
So
immaterial.
does it matter that if it is opened by Indian citizen?
No.
Okay. Now last question, Adil. Is it a body corporate?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Harsh Mishra? Yes. Adil, listen carefully now. Yes, Harsh Mishra. Is it a body corporate? Adil has beautifully explained that it is not a foreign company. You have to tell me if it is a body corporate. You can speak now. Okay, anybody else would like to answer me if it's a body corporate? Yes, no body corporate. Navneet Maurya, why no? नागा राजा ने भी देख देख कर फिर उसने भी नो लिख दिया. Shamli Sharma, good answer. Yes, it is a body corporate. That's correct. Why? Can anyone explain me why it is a body corporate? Excellent, Adil. Whether it is incorporate outside India or inside India, it is always a body corporate. This is what we started the chapter with, children. So body corporate means कोई कंपनी बाहर बनी है या इंडिया में बनी है, बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट दोनों इंक्लूड करती है. जो बाहर बनकर प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस इंडिया में ले आई है उसको फॉरेन कंपनी बनाते हैं. सो बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट इज अ वाइडर कॉन्सेप्ट. इट इंक्लूड्स इंडियन कंपनीज ऑल्सो एंड फॉरेन कंपनीज ऑल्सो. But foreign company is a narrower concept. The body corporates which are incorporated outside India and have a place of business in India, only that is a foreign. Clear to everyone? Indian citizen, ma'am. Nagaraja means Indian citizen. अब ये confuse करने के लिए दिया. I went to Singapore and I opened up. Okay, not a problem, Harsh. It's okay. I went to Singapore and I opened up a showroom over there. I'm selling goods. So you'll say Harleen ma'am is an Indian citizen. She is doing business abroad. That means it is a foreign company. But have I ever told you in the definition that any Indian citizen incorporating company outside India is a foreign company? What is the definition? Nagaraja, what is the definition? Company outside India having a place of business in India. So I am in Singapore, I'm doing business there only, does not matter. Foreign citizen doing business in India does not matter. कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेटेड आउटसाइड इंडिया बनी बाहर है और बिजनेस इंडिया में है, तब वो बनेगी फॉरेन कंपनी. अच्छा, इट मींस वेदर इज फॉरेन और नॉट इट इज. यस, थैंक यू नवनीत मौर्य, अब समझ आ गया आपको. सो इनसाइड इंडिया और आउटसाइड इंडिया, बोथ वेज इट इज ऑलवेज अ बॉडी कॉर्प. Okay, let's take a small break here. Just go through all these sections and then we'll start with section 387. All right. All right, welcome back. Let's continue from where we left. All right, that's great, Mustafa. Good to have you back in the class. That's nice. Okay, so companies' failure to come. We have done till here? No. We have completed till. I was showing you a question related to interpretation. Have we done this question yesterday? We have not yet started with the case studies, right? So let's do this question first, because now we are left with a very small part related to prospectus and ideas. In between, we'll be doing certain questions also. Z Limited, a foreign company, was incorporated in Japan, having a branch office in Hyderabad. In India, Mr. Bharti, the Indian citizen, hold preference shares of 10% of the paid-up capital, and another Indian company, Deshi Limited, is holding 45% of the paid-up share capital. So Indian citizen is holding 10% and the Indian company is holding 45%, which comes out to be 55% of the holding, which is being done by Indian company. During the financial year, there has been alteration in the documents given under section 380. Company has failed to submit the alterations within 30 days. What are the laws applicable on the consequence of failure on the validity of such contracts? I think we have done this question in the previous class. Am I right? Because where I told you that there is a validity of contract which relates to section 393, which we'll be doing in today's class. All right. Thanks for reminding. Have we done this also? Trans Asia Limited? Yes. Have we done question 2? Yes or no? No, Linga says no. So Trans Asia Limited is registered as a public company under section 47 of the Erstwhile Companies Act, means previous Companies Act, which is a subsidiary of Galileo Limited, a foreign company. Trans Asia Limited carries on business in India and describes itself a foreign company. What actions should be taken for the improper use or description as a foreign company? So if you are a company which is registered in India, should be an Indian company. But it is saying it is a subsidiary of a company which is registered abroad. So if you are a company which is registered abroad, so first of all, we have to see the definition of section 2, clause 42 is applicable to it or not. So you'll write the definition: company formed outside India having a place of business and conducting business activity. Since it is a registered and it is a subsidiary of a foreign company, though TransAsia Limited is a subsidiary of a foreign company, but since it is registered in India, it is not a foreign company. Hence, it cannot describe itself as a foreign company. Now, what happens is, children, if you are example number 1 में क्या दिया हुआ है बुक में? आपने देखा example 1 में दिया हुआ है कि आप foreign subsidiary हो and आपकी company यहाँ पे branch काम करी. यहाँ पे it is saying that it is registered in India. If you're incorporated in India, now you are holding a subsidiary outside India, then you do not become a foreign company. Why? Because where is your incorporation? That is important. Where are you incorporated? That is important. If I'm incorporated in Punjab, can I be called a foreign company? No, ma'am. If I'm incorporated in US, can I be called a foreign company? Only if I have a place of business in India. If I'm incorporated in Japan and I have no place of business in India and I do electronic business, then yes. If I'm incorporated in China and I have no electronic or physical presence in India, then I'm not a foreign company. If I'm formed in Delhi and I have my subsidiary abroad, then I am an Indian company because दिल से हिंदुस्तानी है, इंडिया में बनी है ना, so आप Indian company. ठीक है ना? For foreign company, you should be incorporated outside. यहाँ तक everybody has understood. Now, what action can be taken? Anyone who improperly uses or describe itself as a foreign company, then under section 210 of the Companies Act, investigation can be taken and the actions can be taken as a result of this investigation. So Rule 12 of the company's registration rules, I will show you where it is given in the study material. If any person carries on the business under the title or description as a foreign company, and that person, unless foreign company is there, and that person, unless it is duly registered, if it is not a foreign company, then it shall be liable for investigation. Now, what happens under investigation under section 210? That is not part of your syllabus. So what you have to simply remember over here is that you will be liable for investigation. But what investigation will be taken up, that is not informed to us over here. I will show you where it is written. So here it is given, page number 11.24. If the company, if any person tries to misuse, now this is examination question, children, which they have given from this small paragraph. For improper use of foreign company, if any person carries on the trade or business under the name or title of foreign company, लोग क्या करते हैं, झूठा ही बोल देते हैं कि हम foreign company, misleading people. Yes, Mr. Linga are absolutely correct. You're trying to mislead the people, you're trying to mislead the public that we are a foreign company, and also you're trying to gain certain exemptions of foreign company. Then those persons shall be liable for investigation under section 210 and actions will be taken against them as per that investigation. So सिर्फ learn करने वाली line क्या है? That's it. Investigation under section 210 of the Companies Act will happen if you try to misuse or improper use of this foreign company's name. Clear, everyone? Now first we'll complete the syllabus, then we'll jump to the questions because questions are coming in between. Let's go back. 386 तक हो गया था ना हमारा. This we have done, 385 is done, 386 is done. Now we're going to do section 387, the most interesting section and one of my favorite section, which I have done with all of you in chapter number 3. What have we done in chapter number 3? All the provisions of section 26 shall be applicable to this prospectus. Now what happens? If you are a foreign company, that means you were incorporated outside India and you are inviting deposits from Indian company or Indian citizens. मतलब आप पैसे मांग रहे हो. जब आप पैसे मांगते हो, आप securities offer करते हो, then any offer of securities, any OFS that you're doing, any offering of securities you're doing, you have to circulate a prospectus. No person shall issue or circulate prospectus offering securities to companies incorporated outside India, whether the company has established or been formed a place of business, unless the prospectus is dated and signed. So what is the first line? Dating of the prospectus and particulars to be contained. So कहते हैं अगर आप foreign company हो, company incorporated or to be incorporated outside India, and it is offering the securities in India, then it has to issue a prospectus and that prospectus shall be dated and signed. After that, number 2, it shall contain the particulars, that is instrument defining the constitution of the company. What defines the constitution? What is the charter of the company? MOA and AOA. Company का आप MOA and AOA file करोगे. Enactments or provisions under which it was incorporated. So if it is a US company, तो कौन से US की company laws के under बनी है? If it is a Japanese company, then what company laws of Japan have been used? So which enactment of provisions where you have been incorporated, of the country where you have been incorporated, उसकी enactments and provisions देनी है. Point number 3 में address दोगे where the instrument enactments on all these documents, and if they're not in the English language, address in India where the said instrument copies thereof, and if the same are not in English, certified English copy can be inspected. मैं वही देख रही थी, inspected कहाँ गया? Inspected. So you have to tell them that this is my address in India and here you can come and inspect all these documents. कौन से documents? Constitution of the company, that is MOA and AOA. enactments or the provisions under which the company was incorporated abroad means US companies law कौन से लगे उसको, and address where these enactments, copies, instruments can be inspected, and if the same are not in English language, a certified translation is required. भाई अगर इंग्लिश में नहीं है तो सर्टिफाइड ट्रांसलेशन करवाना क्यों जरूरी? रशिया का है, रशियन लैंग्वेज, जापानीज लैंग्वेज. Do you know Russian language? You know Japanese? You are expecting ROC to know all these languages? No, they're not knowing. Even if they know one or two languages, they're not expected to be trained in these languages. So we need a certified copy of the English translation. 3 points are correct, dated and signed, and all these 3 points correct. Fourth, the date on which the company would be or was incorporated. किस दिन ये कंपनी बनी है या फिर बनने वाली है? Whether the company has established a place of business in India, and if so, then the address of this place in India. Now, regarding fifth point, I want to ask something to my dear students. Listen very, very carefully. Yes, Navneet, वो सारे provisions हो गए. पहले ये सुनो. Fifth point में उसने क्या लिखा है? Whether the company has established a place of business in India or not. So if I'm a company incorporated outside India and I am inviting securities, I'm issuing securities, I'm inviting subscriptions from India, it says whether I have opened up a place of business in India or not. So who am I if I have not opened up a place of business in India? What company I am? If I'm just in abroad, no Kuldeep Nagar, I have not opened. Amit is saying digital marketing. Okay, then you mean to say that I'm a foreign company, then only I can. Not a foreign company. Okay, Harsh Mishra. Then if I'm outside India only and I'm not even having electronic mode, then I'm not a foreign company. Then also Section 387 is applicable to me. Okay, Mustafa says yes. हम इंडिया की सारी लैंग्वेज नहीं जानते. हाँ, ये क्या था? Body corporate. Thank you so much, Mustafa. Mr. Yes, Partha Sarthi, this is what I wanted you to conclude. That means, ma'am, this is a body corporate because अभी place of business in India तो बना ही नहीं है. तो that means अगर बाहर वाली कंपनी, मैंने आपको आज स्टार्टिंग ऑफ लेक्चर में ये बात बोली थी कि 387 में दोबारा समझाऊंगी कि अगर पहले हिंदी में बताती हूँ फिर इंग्लिश में, कि अगर बाहर वाली कंपनी हमसे पैसा ले रही है, इनवाइट कर रही है, डिपॉजिट्स या सब्सक्रिप्शंस ऑफर कर रही है, चाहे वो इंडिया में प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस है या नहीं है, whether the company established or been formed or will not establish a place of business in India, चाहे वो आएगी इंडिया में, चाहे वो नहीं establish करेगी, even if you are a body corporate, you have to issue a prospectus if you are inviting subscriptions from my country. That's my fifth point. It says whether the company has established. So very good, you have established a place of business. Now you're a foreign company. Please tell me the address of that place also. He says, please give the address of that place also. Yes, Navneet, now you're saying clear on the same. This is what I'm asking you. So now it's clear to everyone. So again, body corporate. बार बार भूल जाते हो body corporate क्या है और foreign company क्या है, याद रखना है, ठीक है ना? I know it's for the very first time you're listening to these words. So it's okay to get confused, but it's important that you retain this information in your brains also. Clear हो गया ना सबको? Concept should be clear, children. ठीक है ना? Concept should be clear. If I just tell you that this is a foreign company, okay, Section 387 is applicable, please learn these points. And it is a very simple thing. Then what is my purpose of being here and telling you? So my purpose is to tell you interpretation of law. So that is what I just told you, that even if you're incorporated outside India, whether you establish business in India or not, then also your prospectus should be dated and signed if you're offering the securities to companies in India. All right. So particulars, constitution, MOA, AOA, enactment, all these points. All right. Address, date on which it is formed. Yes, right. Private company to private placement करती है ना मुस्तफा. And whether the company has established a place of business in India. If yes, then give the address. Now, this is point number A, that all these requirements are required. Point number clause B says All the matters given under section 26, the matters to be stated in the prospectus, which relates to SEBI and RBI, whatever SEBI regulations tells us, all these points have to be included. Provided the point 1, 2, and 3 will not be applicable if the prospectus is issued more than 2 years after the date on which the company is entitled to commence the business. Now, this company was formed in 1st December 2023. And on 1st June 2026, it has decided to invite the subscriptions, offering subscription of securities to the companies incorporated in India or outside India. किसी को भी अगर invite करे deposits, it's been more than 2 years. So if you have commenced your business and it's been more than 2 years, then the information related to constitution of the company, enactments, and the address where we can inspect them, it is not required. Law says then you're an old company, we don't need this kind of information from you. You simply tell us the date on which it was incorporated and if it has a place of business in India, where it is. And the prospectus shall be dated and signed. We are happy with these 3 informations. So examiner will give you, he will play with this kind of provisions. He will give you case study analysis MCQ में. कि company बनी थी 2 साल से ज़्यादा हो गए. What are the matters which are not to be included? So 1, 2, 3, these matters are not to be included if you are a company which is older than 2 years from the date in which it is entitled to commence the business. Clear? फटाफट से revise कर लेते हैं. Prospectus to be issued, dated and signed. Provisions कौन सी हैं? Constitution of the company, MOA, enactments, provisions of the company where it is incorporated, address where these copies or enactments can be inspected. If they're not in English, a certified translation copy. Date on which the company was incorporated, and if you have a place of business in India, then what is the address? All the matters specified under section 26. What were those matters? Anyone remember? Okay, then remind me, I'll show you the slide of section 26 also in a while, where you can have a quick go through what is section 26. Section 26 tells us what all matters are stated in the prospectus. Okay. And these points will not be applicable if you are incorporated more than 2 years after you have decided to commence the business. Clear, everyone? Everybody is clear till here? Compliance with conditions given under section 387 cannot be waived off on any grounds. Means whatever is required to be given under the documents, enactments, that cannot be given up. You have to follow the provisions of section 387. You cannot waive it off. No person shall issue to person in India application form of securities of such a company as mentioned under 387 unless this form is issued with a prospectus which complies with the provision of chapter 22 and such issue does not contravene the provisions of section 388. So in simpler language, what is it trying to tell you? That you should not be contravening section 388. So what is section 388 trying to tell you? It says that if 387 cannot be waived off, and if you are giving the application form of securities, remember you always have to give a share application form along with the prospectus. You must comply with the provisions of section 388. The only exception is if it is shown that the application form was in connection with a bona fide invitation to a person for underwriting agreement, then it is not required. Remember prospectus chapter? पूरा का पूरा आपको prospectus में लेकर जा रहा है कि अगर underwriting agreement में then 388 is not required. Otherwise, you have to comply with section 388. Now, section 387 is not applicable if you are issuing to the existing debenture holders or shareholders, or if you are issuing the same securities, uniform securities which have been previously issued. You remember when the provisions of prospectus are not applicable? Sounding so blank. I'm not getting any replies. Okay, who is going to raise their hand and tell me? I'm going to show you chapter 3 now. Forgot everything. You're not revising, children. Okay, I'll show you. You want me to show you the section 26? Yes or no? ये क्या पढ़ा था हमने इसमें? क्या पढ़ा था हमने इसमें? Remember, all these statements, declaration, dated and signed, submitting all the reports and financial information. Expert वाला भी बताती हूँ, section 388 में same लिखा हुआ है. When the prospectus is not applicable, if it is issued to the existing shareholders and uniform shares which have been previously issued, same वही language जो आपने section 26 में learn करी है, वही यहाँ पे याद करनी है. 387 subsection 4 simply tries to tell you that if these are the two cases, then issue of prospectus under section 387 is not required. Okay. On the face of the prospectus, what all was to be included? A copy has been delivered with the registrar and all the documents and statements which are attached on the face of the prospectus. You have to specify this thing. Now, section 388 also I'm going to tell you over here only. Any expert statement. Who was an expert? Who was an expert? Yes, now you remembered. Yes, ma'am, same as 26. Very good, Anil. Who was an expert? The expert was the person who is not engaged in the formation of the company, and this expert should have given his written consent, has not withdrawn this consent, and a statement that he has not withdrawn, he has given and not withdrawn this consent should be attached in the prospectus. So it says no prospectus shall be distributed whether the company has been or formed a place of business in India. So first of all, prospectus is must whenever you're offering the securities. Provisions relating to expert's consent. A prospectus will not be issued if it is not having the expert statement. And if expert has given the statement, it should be given in writing. Point number 1, he has not withdrawn, and a statement to this effect that he has given the consent and it has not been withdrawn, then only the prospectus can be issued. If the prospectus does not have the effect where the application is made according to the persons bound under section 33. What was section 33? Issue of application forms. Section 40, securities to be dealt with stock exchange. A statement has to be included if it is contained in any report or memorandum on the face of the reference incorporated in. So क्या points थे? Section 33 follow करना है, section 40, and on the face of the prospectus all these points have to be mentioned. So what will you simply remember under section 388? It simply tries to tell you, write down the points. If any expert has given his consent, it should be in writing. Everybody will write so that you get context in the easy language. It should be in writing. He has not withdrawn his consent. Statement to the effect that expert has given his consent and it is not withdrawn. मतलब उसने अपना consent दिया और ये withdraw नहीं हुआ है, इससे related एक statement भी दे. Is this clear, children, to everyone? Yes, Nagaraja, this is what I told you, children. Many sections are interrelated and repeated. So don't you think it becomes easy? Yes, of course, then it becomes very, very easy. Now you all are answering. Good. He should not be with promotion information. Yes. Yes, ma'am, same as in section 26. Very good, Harsh Mishra, not engaged information. Very good, Theoswami, Aditya, Nagaraja, very nice. All of you have given the correct points. Section 388 is very important, children. So whatever I just wrote, please write it down in your notebooks. Registration of prospectus. Now what it tries to tell you, signing and delivery of prospectus. फिर से वही point. No person will issue the prospectus unless it has been dated and signed. Copy of prospectus certified by the chairperson of the company and 2 other directors. वहां पे signing अलग था, यहाँ पे signing अलग. And on the face of it, a copy has been delivered and it shall be endorsed and attached consent to the issue of prospectus as may be required by section 388. So कहते हैं, how will you register? You will sign and date it and you will establish and all the points. Second is, it has to be certified by a chairperson of the company and 2 other directors of the company, approved by the, as having been approved by the resolution of managing body. Deliver it to the registrar, state on the face of it that it has been delivered, and a copy of section 388 consent is required. So section 389 simply tells you what all is required to be given in the prospectus. Documents which are to be attached, we have already done. Expert statement. Any copy of contracts for the appointment. Now, this is very, very important. What all documents are to be attached with the prospectus? Consent of the expert, section 388 pala. Copy of contracts for the managing director appointment. This is new. This is different. Okay, any contracts that you have entered with the managing director or manager, that you have appointed any managing director or manager of the company, and this shall be reduced in writing, a memorandum giving full particulars. Not just reduce in writing, कहते हैं मतलब सिर्फ एक छोटा सा पैराग्राफ नहीं देना, पूरा डिटेल्ड मेमोरेंडम देना है कि इनकी आपने अपॉइंटमेंट करी. सपोज आपने मिस्टर ए को मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर अपॉइंट करा है, मिस्टर बी को मैनेजर अपॉइंट करा है फॉरेन कंपनी के. सो इनका जो भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आपने इनके साथ करा है इंडिया में, किसी भी कंट्री में, बिकॉज प्रोस्पेक्टस बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट्स को एप्लीकेबल है ना. सो वट एवर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट यू हैव मेड विद दीज पीपल, यू हैव टू गिव अ मेमोरेंडम डिटेल्ड स्टेटमेंट ऑफ दिस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. Point number 3, a copy of any other material contracts not entered in the ordinary course of business but entered in the preceding 2 years. Very important. कौन सा contract? Copy of contracts which is a material contract. Material means important contract, very, very important. Not related to ordinary business. And entered in last 2 years. Now let's understand its interpretation. That means the contracts that you have entered, a material contract. Material means very important. Not related to ordinary business. Means I am into shoe business. So whatever entries I'm doing related to sale and purchase of shoes, तो वो तो routine nature की होगी ना. But मैंने एक material contract करा किसी lender, big lender के साथ, कोई space ले ली है या फिर 50-60 करोड़ का कोई जगह ले ली, कोई important बड़ा contract related to ordinary business नहीं चाहिए. Any other material contract last 2 years में अगर आपने करा है, तो उसकी डिटेल्स भी देनी पड़ेगी. क्यों मांग रहा है? प्रोस्पेक्टस इशू कर रहे हो ना, पब्लिक से पैसा मांग रहे हो ना. सो ही नीड्स टू नो वेयर आर यू इन्वेस्टिंग द मनी, व्हाट ऑल आर यू डूइंग, who are your managing directors and managers, where is the copy of contracts with them, who is your expert, have you taken the consent of the expert, your CAs, CS, lawyers, all those who have written in the chat box, that's great. So have you taken that copy or not? You have to attach it with the prospectus. So consent of the prospectus, consent of the expert under section 388, copy of contracts of the appointment of MDs and managers, a memorandum relating to that, copy of material contracts not related to ordinary business for the last 2 years. Underwriting agreements, if any, copy of underwriting agreements has to be given. And power of attorney if prospectus is signed through an authorized agent of directors. Remember, this was again same. You have to give the power of attorney if the authorized agent of the prospectus, if somebody else is signing on behalf of the agent directors. Remember, children, so what all we have to remember in prospectus, section 387 is applicable to all body corporates, not just foreign companies. Dated and sign होना चाहिए. Section 26 वाले सारे matters आएंगे. आप अगर principal place of business आपने इंडिया में बनाया है तो बता दो what were the 3 provisions 1, 2, 3 which is not applicable if you are more than 2 years old. What were the 3 provisions 1, 2, 3 which is not required if you have entitled to commence the business more than 2 years? Chat box में. Steffi Juice. All right. Yes, Steffi, you want to speak? Adil, you want to speak? Anybody want to speak? You can interact, you can tell. Yes, Adil, MOA, AOA is correct. You can raise your hands and tell children. Constitution enactments, very good instruments. And address where these enactments, instruments, and provisions, if not in English, then the certified copy of English can be inspected. Good, Nagaraja, Linga, Prerna, and Harsh Mishra. Well done. And then experts consent. Anybody would like to raise their hand and throw some light on section 388? Shamli Sharma, good. Expert has given his consent. It is not withdrawn, and a statement that he has given the consent and not withdrawn has to be included. Shall we move to section 390? 390 में बाद में आएंगे. पहले हम देख लेते हैं application of section 34 to 36 and chapter 20. It says 391 section simply tries to tell you that all the provisions of section 34, 35, 36 क्या था? जल्दी बता दो मुझे. Issue of prospectus by a company outside India under section 389 as they apply to prospectus issued by Indian company, and issue of ideas by foreign company, binding up provisions are also applicable. What were the provisions of section 34, 35, 26? Civil and criminal liabilities. Thank you, Adil. Good. Radhiswami Tiwari, good. Misstatements, Shamli, excellent. Very good. So you remember, you can recall now. Great. Misstatements in the prospectus, they shall also be applicable. Okay, 393 is important section. Something new. If you're a defaulting foreign company, then what is the penalty? If you don't comply with the provisions of this chapter, then 1 lakh to 3 lakh is your penalty. Any further continuing default, 50,000 per day, and every officer will be liable to 25,000 to rupees 5 lakhs. Okay, so this is an important penalty. There is only one penalty that has come up in foreign company chapter, so you must learn it. 1 lakh to 3 lakh is the defaulting penalty, and 50,000 for every day during which the default continues. Now comes your section 393, which says company's failure to comply with the provisions will not affect the contract. It says if you are ABC LLC, which was incorporated in USA, and you have opened your office in Pune and you're a foreign company, but you failed to comply with the provisions, you have not followed section 380, that means you have not filed FC1 form, you have not filed FC4 form, annual return आपने जमा नहीं करी, कुछ भी आपने नहीं करा. But at the same time, this US company has entered into a contract of 1 crore rupees with Mr. S. Mr. S नहीं चलो SK Limited company. It says this contract that you have entered with SK Limited, this will remain valid even if you have failed to comply with the provisions. If you have not complied with the provisions, the contracts you have entered and the liability, you can be sued for that. So SK Limited can file a case against you for this 1 crore rupees, even if you have failed to comply with the provisions, but you cannot file any suit. You cannot claim any set off. Say, for example, you had to pay 2 crores to SK. So you will say, okay, we'll set it off. No, it is not possible. You cannot claim any set off. You cannot make any counter claims. You cannot have any legal proceedings. And unless and until you have complied with the provisions of the Companies Act. All right. All right. So if you have not complied, section 393 simply samajhte, if you have not complied with the provisions of foreign companies provisions, then it will not affect the validity of any contract, means whatever contract you've entered, it still remain valid. But 5 points that the company, no action can be taken against the company, no set off can be done, no counter claim can be done, and no legal proceedings can be done unless and until you comply. So you comply with the Companies Act provisions immediately. Now you file section 380, 381, you follow, then you can take an action, but not before. ठीक है बेटा, क्लियर? नागराजा 392 में क्या नहीं समझ आया? 392 सिंपली बताता है कि आपकी पेनल्टी 1 लाख to 3 लाख है अगर आप कॉन्ट्रावेंशन करते हो, एंड 393 कहता है कि आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स इफेक्ट नहीं होता. So now when we do this question, we try to understand that he has entered into the contracts Alterations. So failure of the company to comply with the provisions. Now you can read this, that he has not complied with the provisions. It will not affect the validity of any contracts. So these provisions will be applicable, but it will not affect the validity of the contracts that they have entered in the question number 1. Now, since you have done violation of section 380, validity of any contract will not be affected. Company may be sued in respect of that, but shall not be entitled to bring any suit. Means आप नहीं केस फाइल कर सकते हो, आपके अगेंस्ट केस फाइल करा जा सकता है. Have you understood section 393 clearly, child? That a foreign company, say for example ABC LLC, is in Russia and it has not followed the provisions of section 380. Harleen ma'am has done a contract with this ABC LLC and now they owe me 2 crore rupees. Can I file a case against this company? Yes or no? Under section 393, yes ma'am, I can file. Can this company also claim their counterclaim? I also owe them 50 lakh rupees. Can they file a case for that? No, ma'am. Aditya, you said yes. No is the correct answer. Yes. That means you're understanding. I hope you're finding foreign companies easy and not tough. It is lengthy, but hai to repetition. So how are you finding it? Tell me. 387 was just your application of prospectus. So you remember and you had a quick revision. It was actually a revision of your section 26. All right. Then these small sections, 392 is important, 1 lakh to 3 lakh. 393 validity affect नहीं करती. एक line, एक point का section. I'm not asking you to remember sections, but 380 तो याद हो ही जाएगा. FC1 form 381 ना याद करो, कुछ नहीं होता. 382 भी मत करो. 387 अपने आप हो जाएगा आपको, क्योंकि 388 is important section. ठीक है? Thank you so much, Mustafa. So if you're finding it easy, you're understanding, that is very. All right, others also, I hope you are finding it easy and not tough. And if you're finding it easy, then let me just review your knowledge with your question and answers now. But last topic is left, ideas I'll take at the end. 391, 92, 93 is done. Exemptions under this chapter, central government can exempt certain companies if they want. Like special economic zone में IFSC को exempt करा हुआ है, किसी और को भी अगर central government चाहे by notification exempt कर सकता है. Yes, Nagaraja, 2 times we have revised. And when you go to LVRCs, again, you have a revision of that. All right. So are you all geared up for the question answers now? 2 questions we are already done. Have we done this? I think we have done this one. Laurel Steven Limited हमने कल कर लिया था. Yes, yes, we have done. I remember. This we have not done. Have we done this one? Toksha Motors Limited, Japanese company. Question 4, have we done? Please tell me. Okay, then read question number 4. Give me the answers briefly for question number 4. Take 2 minutes and write the answers in the chat box. So are you going to raise your hands and tell me the answers for this one? Citizens of India and Indian companies are holding 50%. Company has opened the office in Mumbai. It's a foreign company. In order to receive the orders from Japanese luxury cars, company was not aware of the Indian company law and they could not file the required documents. Company could file all the required documents only on 28th February 2021. What is happening? Chapter 22 of the Companies Act is applicable or not? What documents are to be required and by what time? Good, Prerna. Well tried. Let me read other answers. Okay, Aditya, Adil, Nagaraja says one yes. Mustafa good. Partha Sarthi. So I told you 50% or more is the provision. So you will write down section 379 में क्या लिखा हुआ है पहले provision दोगे. Although the company is in Japan, however, its share capital 50% is held by them. All the provisions of chapter 22 will become applicable to the Indian company. Every foreign company को कितने दिनों में देना होता है? Deliver to the registrar within 30 days. All these documents you will write down under section 380. If it's a 7 marks question, then you have to give the list of all the documents. And he has asked you also, na? He has asked you what all documents are required. Is karke diya hai humne. Then any alteration to be made, FC2 form has to be given. Company has established its office on 15 January, is required to file the documents latest by 14 February 2021. So by what date it's required? Within 30 days of opening its office. So it is already late in filing the documents. All right. Okay, good, Shamni Sharma. Everybody has given the correct answers. Yes, ROC Delhi also, this point will be mentioned. Vedant Tiwari, nice. Okay, one more question. Yes, this is the interpretation question, I believe. Yes. This is very important question number 5, children. There is a concept in this question which I wanted to teach you. Yes, Vedant, now you can stop writing. Yes, all the documents are correct. Authorized representative, absolutely correct. Okay, now pay attention. Question number 5. यहाँ अच्छे से पढ़ना है हमने, तो interpretation की बात कर रहा है. Qinghai Harding Industrial Company Incorporated in China has a place of business in Mumbai. So incorporated outside India, having place of business, we assume they are doing business in India. Mandarin is a Chinese local language. All the documents were in Mandarin, Chinese language. And they want a certified translation of the documents with ROC. Who can authenticate these translated copies? Very, very important question. It is given in your book. I'll show you where it is given after the break. But as of now, just see who can do the translation. All the documents which are required to be filed with the registrar, if it is not in English language, it has to be certified correctly. If such translation is made within India, then who will certify or authenticate? Advocate, attorney, or pleader, which is entitled to appear in High Court, or an affidavit of a person who, in the opinion of registrar, having an adequate language of the language and English. Since it is translated in India, within India only, so it has to be authenticated by the persons mentioned under the above rules. So, कहते translation can be in India, or the translation can be done outside India. If the translation has happened within India, then as per the rules of this chapter, any advocate of High Court or any affidavit from a person which ROC thought that there is a person, Mr. Z. He went to China and he has learned Mandarin language and he's also very well of English language. So ROC feels Mr. Z is a very competent person. So this affidavit will be given by Mr. Z. So either Mr. Z can give this affidavit or any advocate or attorney of High Court, they have to give the authentication that this translation has been done properly. Very good, Chandana. Okay? So you have to see that, it is not ROC's responsibility to find out whether the provisions of this translation has been applied or not. So who will have to see? They have to get this translation affidavit done from the person who is authorized to do that. I'll just show you where it is written. Not section 382. 382 was for serving of the notices and displaying of the names. Let me show you this section from the book also. Any failure to comply, 393 we have already done. Counterclaims cannot be done. 392 we have done. Punishment of 1 lakh to 3 lakh 50,000. Ideas, I'm yet to tell you about ideas. There is a small paragraph of ideas which I'll teach you. This is all regarding prospectus registration. Experts' consent is required. Prospectus was easy, I suppose you have understood. Mir company is incorporated in Dubai on 28th April and they have established a place in Mumbai. They offer the subscription, the securities. Now the place before going have to file a prospectus. It should be written and signed. Agar 2 saal se zyada, to 1 to 3 points are not required. We have revised this also. So we have done all these points. I'm surprised I'm not able to find that FE debit point. Maybe it is now removed from this rule 12 we need now. Can anyone help us in finding rule 12? To 10 investigation also I've told you over here. This also we have done. Central government can exempt certain foreign companies. I don't know where it has gone. All right, let's try solving one of the descriptive questions from the study material itself. Okay, you'll not cheat the answers. DEJY is a company which is incorporated in Singapore and it has a branch office in Mumbai. You being a practicing CA has been appointed for the legal compliance, whether the branch office will be considered as a company incorporated outside India and what documents are required. So I think second one is also pretty easy. You will be able to do it. Yes, yes, ma'am or no, ma'am. Hurry up. Okay, fourth का मुझे सिर्फ आप बता दो. Yes and no. Redstone in Singapore, board of director are taking business decisions at their board meeting in India. Fourth का first part. Is it a foreign company? Yes or no? You hear me wrong. Only business decisions are being taken. So it is not a foreign company, child. If you're not doing any business activity, so only business decisions is not a foreign company. Zen is registered in Dubai, has installed the main server in Dubai and doing the cloud computing in India. For the second case, Zen is a foreign company. Main server ka matter nahi karega. Okay, so I'll quickly show you the answers. So for the fourth part, fourth answer, first one, you will write the definition and then you will give the detailed answers where it has gone. You will first give the definition and then electronic mode का meaning बताना है. फिर पूरा ये लिखना है कि it's just because it is having a business decision, it is not a foreign company, and this one having a place through electronic mode, it is a foreign company. This full-fledged definition has to be given, children, if any question comes related to the definition. All right. So the descriptive questions are pretty simple. I think you can try doing them. I'll take a small break here and I give you 5 minutes. Just go through all the descriptive questions and the answers so that if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the class itself. Yes, sections are not important, Nagaraju, but section 2, clause 42 that we have learned, section 380, 2-3 sections important wale Nagar. Okay? Very good, Kuldeep. It will not be a foreign company. So I'm giving you a 5 minute small break. Just go through all the descriptive questions and then we restart the session. All right, kids. Shall we proceed? Almost second module of law is over. Yes, Mustafa. So see how fast you have done the syllabus, but the learning part is still, I think, continuing from your side. So that's important. All right, have you gone through all the questions from the descriptive? Any doubts still here? Now I will explain you ideas and then we will move ahead to the other question answers. What is the meaning of ideas? Indian Depository Receipts. Do you remember section 41 that we have done GDRs? Global Depository Receipts. So when Indian company is raising funds, it go to the public issue and it is listed and now it is thinking to raise the funds from overseas. So when Indian company is Aditya, no, I told you, remembering of all the sections is not important, child. But when we keep doing all these chapters, then important sections automatically you start regaining and retaining. Like section 380 क्यों important है? क्योंकि question में बेटा वो लिख रहा है section 380. ठीक है ना? तो बाकी इसमें सिर्फ section 2 clause 42, section 380 याद कर लो. 392 पेनल्टी से रिलेटेड इंपॉर्टेंट होता है सेक्शन, वो कर लो. 379 ये अपने आप आपको चारों जब आप बार बार रिवाइज करोगे ना लर्न हो जाए. ठीक है? Like Aditya has asked, anybody else has any query? Okay, I'll complete ideas and then I'll give you time to speak. All right, so now this Indian company is raising money from overseas. So when we raise money from overseas, we issued global depository receipts. And when outside company is raising money from India, we are issuing Indian depository receipts. Till now, only Standard Chartered has once come up with the ideas. Nobody else thereafter has ever come up with the ideas. Okay, let me complete this chapter, then I will answer you, Tiwari. Okay. So ideas are then when the foreign company is investors are trying to invest in the shares of Indian company, then they are issuing if Americans are investing, then they're issuing ADRs, that is American Depository Receipts, and any other country want to invest in us, then it is Indian Depository Receipts. Now what happens is when I am issuing GDRs, suppose I am a company Infosys, and I will go to my custodian bank, that is HDFC. So I will raise money from US. I want to raise money from US. So I will go and tell my HDFC bank that I am ready to issue the securities. Please, custodian bank, tell your overseas depository bank that you have received the money. And when these banks merge under this act and they take the approval from Reserve Bank of India and they tell each other that now I have received cash from Indian company, please issue depository receipts abroad and we will give you the money. And they will tell that company over there that we can issue the depository receipts. Similarly, when India में वो पैसा लेकर आ रहे हैं, तो India से पैसा raise करना है तो यहाँ पे Indian depository receipts issue करेंगे. So they will tell their banks, suppose US will go to their Standard Chartered or any other bank, and that bank, that is their local custodian bank. So overseas custodian bank will tell the domestic depository bank. So जिस बैंक को issue कर रहा है depository receipts, that is your depository bank. And your local bank, if I am India, I am going to HDFC, they are my domestic custodian bank. And I am issuing securities overseas, I will go to the overseas depository bank. If they are issuing, then US will go to their US custodian banks. And for them, we are the overseas depository bank. So I am domestic depository bank who is issuing the depository receipts. So that is how it happens. So custodian bank will tell the US company that that we have received the depository bank money. It is a kind of a bank only. That bank is holding the money on the way, and now the way shares are issued, we are issuing the depository receipts. All right. So it is not very, very important concept, but yes, since it's part of your syllabus, we cannot even leave it. So whenever Indian company is raising the shares, what you simply have to remember is whenever Indian company अपने shares foreign investors में raise करना चाहता है, then we issue GDRs. That's why GDRs are required. And whenever other outsiders want to raise their money from India, they issue IDRs. And this is the whole story of custodian and depository banks, that they have a merger among them with the prior approval of Reserve Bank, and they tell each other that we have received the money, now you can issue the securities. Also, they have to be without complying with the specified conditions, along with adhering to the regulations of RBI and SEBI. So along with the regulations of SEBI and RBI, we can issue the receipts abroad also, and they can also issue the receipts in our country. We have done question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is also done. I think 6th one also we have done. 6th we did, I think, on that day only. Now only the MCQs are left from my side. First, I will listen to your queries. Do we have to write the previous of chapters if applicable, or just mention the name? So you simply have to refer, if they're asking you, then chapter 9 like accounts and audit mutatis mutandis is applicable. सिर्फ वो भी section 384 में अगर वो आपसे पूछ लेता है कि क्या क्या provisions, राधेश्याम तिवारी की क्या क्या provisions applicable है, then you have to give. You don't have to write the entire chapters over there, okay? As given in question number 3, so you want to ask question number 3 from the descriptive questions. What is given in question number 3? So question number 3 is asking you, is a foreign company established? Explain the relevant provisions and rules for preparing the financial. So you have to tell all the provisions of the documents that you have to file. So you'll tell them chapter 9 accounts, audit is applicable, balance sheet, and also you should mention about that repatriation statements and other things. Okay? These 3 statements are important. All these documents have to be given within 6 months. This should also come. Is that clear? Anybody having any more doubts? Anyone wants to raise their hands and ask any questions, anything, then I will do MCQs if you don't have any doubts. I hope we have done all the questions also. No doubts? Okay, Mustafa is saying, I know that law needs retentions and writing, but sometimes I'm like, how to do it, fusion. Mustafa, the answer to your question is that no doubt law is quite lengthy, and so is the paper. So paper is also lengthy, and how you have to retain the information. So I would like to give you a thumb rule over here that the syllabus should be gone through in front of your eyes at least 4 times. One, when you're doing it with the teacher. Second is when you're reading it after understanding the concept. So like, for example, I have done the chapter with you today. It is your moral responsibility to revise it tonight itself or maybe early morning. I don't know how you're going to manage your time, but maximum within a day's time, it should be revised. जब हम पढ़ते हैं किसी के साथ सुनते हैं तो हमें easy लगता है. But if we don't revise it, if we don't keep it in our mind, then we're not able to retain it. So the second reading and revision should be done within a day's time, not more than that, maximum within 2 days' time. Third is when you learn your content, means you're doing the entire revision of the syllabus. And fourth time is a day before the exam when you're reading it again. So once you have given 4 readings to every provision, that is how you have to give this. You have to plan your time, children. And if you have given this 4 readings, 5 you can give, that's wonderful. Minimum 4 readings has to be given to every provision. Definitely you will do well in your exam. And regarding retention, children, you do remember when the paper comes in front of your eyes, you are able to memorize the things. It happens with everyone. Okay, it happens with everyone. Just keep doing it. Keep revising, keep doing writing practice, descriptive question. Just see how study material has beautifully given all the illustrations and answers also for the solutions. Solved paper hai aapke paas to. RTPs, MTPs, suggested answers, everything. You don't even have to sit and search for the answers. So just try writing them. Jitni writing practice karoge, utna hi paper acha hota hai. And once you are done with your 3-4 papers writing, just start reading them again and again, whenever you get time. All right. Ma'am, can we refer only your PPT other because language is comparatively tough? So Syed Hussain, wherever the language is tough, I keep telling you that you keep marking down the points. So whatever points I have told you, see, study material is Bible for us. We cannot leave study material, and my notes are also inscribed from the study material itself. So you can definitely refer to my notes for the points and everything, but just give a fair reading. Yes, just keep your study material also along with you for reference. Don't leave anything from that. Give the SS of the who are going to translate because it. Yes, Harsh Mishra, even I was trying to figure out for that because that is only in one answer. So if it's not there, then it's no more part of your syllabus. Don't worry. Okay, I'll still check out amendment notes. How to remember lengthy chapter? Aditya, I just gave you a fair reference that at least 4 times reading has to be given of every topic, and then you try to remember it. And Aditya, also, once you are done with your syllabus, children, start revising the context as soon as possible. You should not just keep waiting that once I will make my timetable and then I will sit. You should keep on doing it along with that. Okay, Harsh Mishra, after I'm done with the queries, I will make you write down this certified one thing also. If I don't read earlier in exam now, how will I do it? When I read music and time, new and small things. Yes, Kuldeep, so it's okay now to keep marking it down. Just keep reading. Whatever is important, we have covered it in the class. Don't worry about that, Kuldeep. Yes, see, Mustafa, not whole study material again, but जब हम पढ़ रहे हैं तो हम study material को reference के लिए तो रखेंगे. अब मैम ने section 386 करा दिया, interpretation बता दी. उसमें कुछ रह तो नहीं गया कोई point, वो तो हमने देखना ही है ना. वैसे ideally 99% we have covered the entire chapter, and you have seen my way of teaching also. I always open the study material long. That's the reason I open, so that nothing is left undone from the study also. Although we try to cover each and everything in the presentation and slides, but still I always try to take up all the illustrations and examples of study also, so that study material is clear. Can I read small chapters and then? Yes, Aditya, this is what I was trying to tell you, that always focus on small chapters, deposits, registration, do them and keep it in your pocket. And prospectus is very easy. You have done it with me. I remember how beautifully you have answered me questions. So prospectus को भी lengthy में मत मानना, easy chapters में ही मानना. Okay, and institute is making so much effort for you. We have LVRCs also. Again, sit for those classes. You're doing revision with the teachers along with it. So one you have done, second you will do your reading, third you do it in revisionary, fourth is just day before exam. Okay, Theosiomi, I'll show you the forms. Thanks for reminding. Now, all those who wanted to write, registration of charges is complicated, but you can simplify it. Okay. 14th, 3 p.m. Nagaraja, what are you talking about? Okay. Now, all those who were asking for the certification translation copy. Okay, fortnight programs. Okay, already you can attend that also. So I told you that if the translation is done within India, then who has to certify it? Who has to certify it? It should be authenticated by the advocate attorney of High Court or in the affidavit of the person who registrar feels is the having knowledge of the language. Just write down over second point over here. If the translation is done, write down if the translation is done outside India. If the translation is done outside India, then it should be authenticated. Number one, by the person who has the custody of original documents. Number one, by the person who have the custody of original documents. Or number two, notary of outside country person. Notary of that country. Either of them can certify. Either of them can certify. So in your book, it is simply written that if you have to give a true and correct copy, it should be certified. Who will certify the translation? Earlier it was given, maybe now it is not given the study, or it is removed from the original one. So it is given, maybe in the old study, if we'll check, it will be given. The translation is within India, then attorney or advocate of High Court or the affidavit of the person will satisfy. If translation is done outside India, then the person who is having custody of the original documents or the notary of that country will certify. All right, Mustafa, don't worry. I will help you in the LBRC classes for the same chapter, okay? Yes, High Court advocate, that is correct. Clear? So all these points are clear now? Somebody's asking about the forms. I will show you the forms now. So all these forms are available on the MCA website. We try to see the forms so that you get a fair knowledge about how these forms look. All right. Yes, sure. You can. Nagaraja, no, we started from 6 to 8:30. We have the class. Okay, so this is your FC1 form. All the receipt of foreign contributions you have received, you have to give them. And you have to give this name, date of birth, email address, nationality, all these details which were given in your book also. And then you give this declaration. Part B, you have to give all the addresses and PAN numbers. And part C, you give all the details of the foreign contribution regulations you have to comply with. So it's a very, very simple forms that they have over here. I'll show you FCA4, which is important. You don't need to download the form. Somebody's asking about the forms. You just simply, you can have a go through so that since you're reading about it, so practical knowledge ke liye it becomes interesting. You have at least seen the forms. Aditya, all the forms are on the MCA website. So this is FCA4. FCA4 is used for what? Yes, FC4 form is used for what? We have just done that, children. Annual return, yes. So again, you are addressing it to the Foreign Divisioner's request, Home Minister's Affairs, New Delhi office. You have to deposit over there only. All your name and registrations, the purpose for which the documents were taken, address, value of assets received. So it's a bit complicated. You don't have to actually learn the forms. You simply need to remember the form numbers. वो भी सिर्फ मैंने आपको बोला कि फॉरेन कंपनी डिपॉजिट्स प्रोस्पेक्टस इनके कम है फॉर्म्स तो आप लर्न कर सकते हो. Don't waste your time for forms like incorporation of companies में बहुत सारे forms हैं यहाँ. Thank you Kuldeep for writing down briefly all the forms. Incorporation of companies में बहुत सारे form हैं. Leave them. Don't waste time. See, you have to be a smart person while you're studying law. Okay, so many penalties. You remember what hint I have given you for penalties? That whenever you see the penalties, write it on a piece of paper and stick it on the front part of the chapter, so that when you're going through on the last days, you will just have एक नजर मारनी है penalties को. लर्न नहीं हो सकती है, इम्पॉसिबल है. इतनी सारी पेनल्टीज कैसे लर्न कर लोगे? बट फॉरेन कंपनी की छोटी एक ही थी, 1 लाख to 3 लाख, उसमें दी भी हुई है एमसीक्यूज में. So it has already come in the exam, so then it becomes easy for you to remember. But don't keep wasting time for all the forms. We have to learn the forms. We have to learn penalties. Just keep reading it. Again and again read करने से you will be able to retain the information, but just don't run after these two things, forms and penalties, because maximum it will be for 2 marks MCQ. So you have to study for your full 100 marks paper, not just for 2 marks. And even if you attempt 90 marks paper very nicely, I'm saying, still you can get exemption. So you just prepare smartly for your exams. And timetables should be very much regular. Yes, you should write down those. All right. So I hope you don't have any doubts. Now I see you somewhere in December for FEMA. And I hope your lessons weren't just about facts, they were fostering a spirit of curiosity and love for learning law. Thank you so much, Harsh, for wonderful words. It really means a lot for me. And it has always been wonderful experience to meet you all and teach you. And look forward to seeing you again now. And I hope you don't have any doubts and do revise and do all the descriptive questions. Plus, I will be giving you certain assignment questions also. वो भी एक बारी कर लेना. All right. Thank you so much. See you all again soon.